before the awards. Before he became the big man, he was just a one-last Streamrock, a boy from the streets of Kambuzuma. Born on February 1st, 1983 in Kambuzuma, Harare, Winkyd grew up surrounded by reggae, hustle, and real life, in a neighborhood where dreams were hard to chase. As a teenager, he stepped onto ghetto stages, not with a band, but his bars. Known first as Winkyd DJ, he clashed in underground battles, spitting truth in the mix of Shona and Pathways. He was just known for participating on DJ battles known as Ghetto Lane clashes. As a teenager, he wasn't polished, it wasn't easy, but it was real. Winkyd's voice carried the stories of the ghetto loud, raw, and fearless. From makeshift studios to radio waves, from the sound clashes to the national stage, the journey of Winkyd began with nothing but a mic, a voice, and a mission.
I never thought Winkyd is the baddest out in that industry.
Before he was known as a recording artist, Winkyd started as a master of ceremony and hype man for local DJ crews during sound clashes and street parties. He worked closely with underground crews, helping host youth festivals, block parties in Harare. While growing up in Kambuzuma, life wasn't easy. He came across ghetto struggles, corruption, poverty, which later influenced his musical career. At young age, while other kids kicked football and playing with the dust, he was kicking verses, developing musical interest at the age of 8. His journey was filled with struggles, discrimination, but he never gave up. As we all know that during his upbringing, Sungura music was the culture, with legends like Leonard Dembo, Simon Chimbetu, and people like Thomas Mafumo, Leonard Shakata, followed by gospel music, with artists like Charamba. But at the time of his entry into musical industry, urban grooves was a dominant force in the beat-making sounds. At the age of 16, he participated at the local DJ battles known as Ghetto Lane clashes, earning the nickname Winkyd DJ, which later shortened to Winkyd. The name Winkyd was prominent with lyrical sharpness and fierce mic presence. He was heavily inspired by Jamaican reggae and dancehall sounds, and artists like Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Sizzla Kalonji, and Capleton, shaping his music career, adopting a spiritual but rebellious music tone. In the early 2000s, Zimbabwe music scene was dominated by urban grooves. Dancehall, it was underground, respected and dismissed. But Winkyd stuck to his fire. Tracks like Dead in a Wall and Ndiri Rasta made noise in the ghetto, while mainstream media turned the volume down. He linked up with producers like Bartholomew Vera of Digital One and Abisha Palmer, turning raw street energy into studio hits. Winkyd was also linked to Sport Records in Mbare during the rise of his music career, especially in the early development of Zimdanso sounds. However, before Sport became dominant, he worked with producers and studios like Bartholomew Vera and Black Lab Studios, which supported early dance artists. Sport Records, run by Levels and Fandan, eventually became key hub, and while Winkyd wasn't raised then, he collaborated with them later in the making of beats and projects like Disappear. It wasn't easy for Winkyd in his early musical career. His music and dancehall music were not recognized by the public. It wasn't easy to get his music to the radio or airplay, but he stuck to his fire. Zimdanso wasn't initially respected. Urban grooves was dominant at the time, occupied by artists like Alex Ukawara, Chererai, Mafriki, and more. His lyrics, often socially conscious, drew scrutiny from the politicians, facing concert disruptions. Early Zimdanso lacked the formal music industry backing. There were no labels, no weak distribution like any other dance artist in the world. He had lyrical feuds with other artists, which were both a challenge and visibility too. Winkyd began recording in the early 2000s during the rise of urban grooves, but he leaned more towards Zimdanso, a niche genre at the time. His early tracks like Ndiri Rasta and Dead in a War stood out. He gained popularity through underground shows, ghetto sound clashes, and radio airplay on radio stations like Power FM and Radio Zimbabwe. Ndiri Rasta track was released in 2004, marking the start of his solo career. Winkyd has toured internationally. He performed in countries like UK, United States, Asia, Australia, and South Africa, bringing Zimdanso to a global audience. His music often addresses social and political issues, resonating with many people, not just youths, but all people in Zimbabwe and the world. If you take it from the songs like Mafira Korea, Iboso and more, I can say he became a symbol of freedom, expression, and empowerment, often viewed as the voice of the voiceless in Zimbabwe, feared by the powerful and loved by the people of Zimbabwe. His journey wasn't easy, but a testament and honest. Winkyd eventually broke into mainstream with albums like Ego Figo and Gaffa Life. His lyrics actually evolved to tackle corruption, poverty, youth struggles, and spiritual survival, making him more than just a dance artist, but a voice of the voiceless, a movement as viewed by the Zimbabwean people. Today, as of making this documentary in 2025, Winkyd is like a lion, unchallengeable and feared artist. He is set to release an album marketed by football analyst Fabrizio Romano, showing that Winkyd is very serious about his music career and success. Subscribe if you are proud of being Zimbabwean and suggest